Hey, Facebook people, this is Seth Green here, and we are here today to talk about how to triple your employees' productivity. And honestly, some of this is going to be, I hope you're okay with me being candid and sharing with you my story of struggle in this department and how that led to what we're going to talk about today. Also got a really special, cool surprise for you. If you qualify, we'll actually pay you $500 to test drive the system I'm going to show you that we built, your very own employee peak performance productivity system. So we'll literally pay you to build it for you. So stay tuned till the end. I'll show you how to do that. Now, I started Market Domination LLC back in 2007, and it started out as just me, one employee and one boss, myself, and one client, another financial advisor who had read an article about me in the industry's top trade journal, Registered Rep magazine, and that article was about cold calling. And they interviewed me as the antidote. They said, well, this is why you shouldn't cold call, and this is what you should do instead. I was the counterpoint to the argument. So I got a phone call, started getting phone calls from advisors going, how do I do what you did? So I called my marketing mentor, my coach. I used my certificate, my monthly call, from Dan Kennedy. And I said, Dan, what do I do? And he said, you start a marketing company and you do it for him. So I did. I started Market Domination LLC in 2007. It started out as me and one advisor. And I was teaching that advisor what Dan had taught me how to do and helping him do it and getting him clients. And it was working. So far, so good, right? Well, we grew in popularity. More and more advisors started hiring us. The business branched out because I had other people who said, hey, I'm not an advisor, but can I would your stuff work for me? So we modified it for other businesses. I had got to the point where I had so many clients, I had to start hiring staff, had to start hiring employees, which was cool. I was growing a real business, or so I thought. And we were creating other products to people who just wanted to learn to do it themselves, and services besides what we had already created. So it was going really well until it wasn't, because my life started to get crazy as I was trying to manage and juggle both my clients and my employees. And I realized my business was a job, and I had a pain in the ass for a boss, me. Let's be honest. And because I had spent all those years working with Dan Kennedy learning direct response marketing, how to make the phone ring, how to make people raise their hands, how to make people do, say, yes, I want that, tell me more, or sell me something. But what I didn't do was I didn't know anything about growing a business. I knew how to market, which created a bigger mess. The more clients I had, the more messier it got. I didn't know anything about managing. So I tried a whole bunch of different ways to manage our processes, our services, and our clients and our employees. I literally started with a cork board with push pins and post-it notes and pieces of paper all over the place. And, that didn't go so well. I tried Google. I tried an Excel spreadsheet. It's funny, I had built a system that markets annuities for financial advisors. It had a lead generation component where people raised their hands and said they wanted the free report. It had like an 8-step, 8-week direct mail follow-up sequence to get them to come in the door to buy or exchange an annuity with that financial advisor. And I had an Excel spreadsheet that tracked every lead and put in who was supposed to get letter 1, day 1, what the date was, letter 2, what the date was. And when I had 10 or 15 leads, it was easy and I had no issues. When I was getting 30 leads a month, I hired somebody to run that system, and he quit after a month because he couldn't keep up with it. So my Excel spreadsheets didn't work. And then when I tried to manage people via the Excel spreadsheet, as opposed to just direct mail, it got even worse. I tried Google Docs, which is a pain in the ass because it doesn't tell you sometimes when the document gets updated. So someone has to email you anyway. And tell you that they made a change. And I've got 7 different email accounts, so I never know which client shared which doc with which email account. And I go sign in, and they say, I sent you something, and I can't see it because I'm in a different account. And there are other issues with Google Docs. I tried Basecamp and Slack and all of these different other management tools that were supposed to solve my problem. But none of them worked the way I wanted to. None of them were built for a really fast-growing, lots of moving parts business like Ours is to this day. So none of those off-the-shelf project management solutions worked for me. And, I had been recommended the book Scaling Up by Vern Harnish, author of The Rockefeller Habits, which is one of my favorite business books of all time, top 6. But I never got through the first 50 pages because we never had any key performance indicators. He talked all about managing my metrics and KPIs and all this stuff, and we didn't have it. And chapter on cash, don't even get me started in terms of we need more of it. We needed more of it. That's all I knew. So we didn't have any metrics to track, so I couldn't manage by KPIs. I didn't have a dashboard. Until I did, and we're going to talk about how that happened, how that changed. Because I took the $500 challenge that you're about to hear about, and I went from chaos, pulling my hair out, trying to, I would tell my employee to do something, and then a week later the client would say, hey, that never got done, and I would go, hey, didn't you do it? And they'd say, hey, I sent you an email that I needed something, and I never got the email. It landed in my junk, and they didn't tell me to check, hey, I sent it, so go check your junk. I actually had a client leave. He said, I need X. We said, okay, we need Y from you. 2 weeks later, he's like, how come X didn't get done? I said, because I'm waiting for Y. And he said, well, you didn't remind me. You didn't stay on top of me. And I said, I didn't know that was my job. I thought you were just supposed to do it. And he quit and stopped paying us because of that, because we didn't stay on top of him to remind him. So this software that I'm about to show you is a dream come true that I got paid to have built for me and test drive. It allows me to watch the progress of my employees as they deliver results for our clients. It's really cool because I was pulling my hair out. I was micromanaging my employees. I was trying to, every step, I had to, like, did you do X? Did you do Y? And it drove them nuts, and it drove our clients nuts, and people slipped through the cracks because I didn't keep track of everything I asked everybody for. So our clients weren't happy, and, we had marketing campaigns that didn't work that we didn't know didn't work because of the reporting was off or something wasn't right or they didn't do something. I mean, you name it, I've had that issue. I've gone through it. I've been up to sleepless nights at 3 a.m. trying to solve the problem. But one day, I was introduced to Scott Pallett, and I met him at an event, and he caught me on a day, and I was at a marketing conference. I think I was probably a speaker, and he had asked me, he bought me lunch, asked me a couple questions, and I vented. I unloaded. Because I was dealing with a crisis that had happened while I was away, a fire I had to put out from the opposite side of the country. And so Scott asked me one question, and that question changed my life, and hopefully it'll change yours too. And it's a question you got to ask yourself and fill in the X, like X marks the spot type of thing. So here's the question that Scott told me to ask myself, and I'm going to ask you. If my employees could produce X result consistently, it would explode my company. So what do you need your employees to do on a consistent, regular, systematic basis that would dramatically explode your company? Now, it's not the normal, hey, how's business question, right? It requires some creative thinking. But I'll tell you what my answer to that question was. I said, because at the time, when I first met Scott, our biggest issue was our podcast into book marketing service was working really well for our clients, but I was having a nightmare of a time trying to manage it all. Because as you'll see, there's like 18 plus steps in that process that need to get done in order for that to work. And some of them need to be repeated. So if you can imagine me trying to email, hey, did you do X? Hey, did you do Y? A through Z almost, not 26 steps, but pretty close. It was a pain. So I said, my answer was, if I could have my managers deliver podcast results to clients month after month, without me being involved in the details of delivery, that'd be a lifesaver. Sanity changer, game changer, everything else. So Scott said, you want to take the $500 challenge? I said, what's that? He said, I'll pay you $500 to build you a system that will solve the problem for you. I said, come on. Did you buy me too many drinks? Why? Why would you give me $500 to build a system that's going to fix me? I thought he was kidding. But then he promised to help me make it a reality. And he did what he said he would do. He did all of it. But we're not here to talk about me today. We're here to talk about you and your business. So this is about taking your company to a whole nother level. So I'm going to ask you the same question Scott asked me. What's your X? If your employees could produce X result consistently, it would take your business to a whole nother level. What's the X? Is it the number of sales they make, or do you need your salespeople to produce more? Is it employees delivering results to clients like my X was? Are you manufacturing a physical product? Is it the number of units that need to get made in a certain time period, or get out the door. Are you a speaker, an author, a coach, a consultant? Do you need a number of more? Do you need more speaking gigs? Do you need people to make more calls for you? Are you a pure internet marketer and you need to track click-through rates and ads or percentage of open rates and emails? I don't know what your X is, but if you can identify it, you'll qualify for the $500 challenge. Now, if you don't have an X that would explode your company, this isn't for you. So, I mean, for example, let's say your company's fine, but you like the idea of having a systems and procedures in place so that if, let's say, a key employee leaves, your business doesn't take a dive. Very admirable, and obviously you want that, but that's not what the $500 challenge is about. The tripling your employees' productivity, which we're going to get to, is about companies like mine who hit the ground running and see instant results in the form of more revenue or less stress or streamlined systems that allow your employees to do what they need to do to take your company to the next level. So I want to tell you, it's eye-opening to work with Scott and his team because they identified procedures and accountability pieces I would never have seen, I never saw on my own. You know, you work in your business every day, and even if, let's say, you leave the office and go to a mastermind group like mine or someone else's, or go sit in Starbucks for 5 hours and work on your business, it's still your business. It's still really hard to see the forest for the trees. I find I write my best copy for marketing campaigns when I'm in airports or on airplanes because no one can reach me. My phone can't go off. I can't access email, and I'm uninterrupted. My kids can't interrupt. No offense, honey. So I write my best copy in airports. So even if you're getting out of your business and working on it, it's still really hard to see the forest for the trees, especially when you're not a systems person, when you haven't spent your career building these types of systems. So obviously, Scott and his team have built them over and over and over many, many, many times. So they know best practices. They know what works. They know what doesn't. They've forgotten more than we ever need to learn about it. Had Scott told me that he would have charged me X thousands of dollars for the consulting to solve my problem, I would have happily paid it. And it would have been worth every penny. It would have been worth more than that because the ROI on our business and the ROI on my sanity is even more important. So the fact that he'll pay you $500 and build it for you, I told him he was crazy. I told him not to do it. I told him he should be charging. But he wants to attract the right business owners. And from what I've seen and experienced, he's on his way to helping hundreds of companies around the world grow in ways they never even thought were possible. So before I explain the $500 challenge in detail, I want to take you on a tour of the software so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So here, we're going to turn the camera around. And we're going to put it on my computer screen. So humor me. Okay, so what you're looking at is the inside of our Triple Your Employee Productivity software system. And the main home screen, these are clients. And right now it's got 52 clients in the system. And what would happen is this little gray dot over here would be green. It'd be green if my employee had completed a step and I needed to approve it. And then I would go in, I'll show you how it works. I would go in, I would see the step, and I would see if they did it right. And if they did it right, I'd approve it, and they could go to the next module. And then I would approve that. I get an email notification every time someone completes a step for me to approve. And then it's got a red color if there's an issue. And I can see right away, here's what's going on with every client in our business. So this is our program, hang on one second, deliver outstanding results to podcast clients every month. This is the one that Scott built. So for example, those are the 18 steps. And you'll see lesson 1 is green, it was completed. Lesson 2 is green, it was completed. Lesson 3 is in progress. So they haven't done lesson 3, their lesson 3 has to get done. So I scroll down, and lesson 1, module 1 has these questions that my employee has to answer in order for me to know that they did the step correctly. And they submit the answers to me. I get an email saying, go check, this module was completed. And then I can approve it, and let them go on to the next step, or I can write a note and tell them, hey, you need to change X, Y, and Z, you need to fix this before it goes out. Then again, they get an email as soon as I've either approved it or made an edit, and then I get an email back telling me that they did it, and I can now go ahead and approve it. So they answer every question, And the beauty of it is every module has a video on it. So what my employees see is here. I will go show you what it looks like on the employee side. So if I go to preview module so this is lesson 1. This is my employee signs in and sees you have to watch this video, and then you have to answer these questions to get to lesson 2. Lesson 2, module 2, fill it out, answer the questions, say I completed it. And they go through the modules step by step by step. So Scott created that program for us to go through all 18 plus steps of our podcast into book marketing service. And it's working, which is the best part. I get emails every day of what steps my employees have done. I go in and make sure they did them right. I go in and approve them. And lo and behold, magically, work gets done. So we created that, and then I got system obsessed because this is what's going to happen. You're going to get addicted to this. I said, what other services can we do this for? And Scott said, you could do it for all of them, everything you offer. So the next one I created was a customer service system. Because again, remember, I told you I had that client who quit because we didn't stay on top of him. Even though technically that shouldn't have been part of our job, I said, it doesn't matter. If he's feeling that way, other people are probably feeling that way and not telling us. So I created the How to Create Happy Customers for Life by giving them positive ROI month after month system. And in this case, my employee goes in. Again, there's a training video that says this is what you need to do. And it says, did you watch the video? Did you call your client? Did you get a hold of them? Did you ask them how they feel about our progress? Are they happy? What do they want more of? Are they unhappy? Obviously, they can't be happy and unhappy. You got to pick one. What do they want fixed? What is your suggestion on how to fix it? Because I want my employees coming up with ideas on how to solve the problem. Did you thank them for sharing that with you? Because we want to thank them for good news or bad news. If they're happy, we want to do more of that. And we want to tell them we're grateful that they're happy and we made them that way. And if they're unhappy, we want to thank them for sharing that so we can fix it. Because as my wife has told me many, many times, your clients will stay longer and be happier based on the relationship with you. Yes, they're hiring us for marketing. Yes, they want to drive sales and customers in the door. But they stay longer if they know you, like you, trust you, and feel like you're working on their behalf. And if they feel like you are being pricky, to use my wife's word, or that you don't care, or that you're not as invested as they are, they won't stay as long. And did you tell them that you will call them back? So every week or every 2 weeks, depending on the client, we're now calling them. I can see all the issues that are coming up or everything that's working well. We're discussing it in every staff meeting. Hey, what did you learn? What clients did you talk to yesterday and what did you learn? What's working well? Can we do more of it? Can we do it for other clients? What's not working and can we fix it? And is that affecting anybody else as well? So now I created a scoring system based on the number of questions we've got. Each question gets a certain number of points, and then every employee, every time they talk to a client, fills this out and then gets a score. And now they've all got a certain number of clients assigned to them, and we're now competing every week to see who has the best score. And we haven't skewed it. We haven't given one person all the happy people we already know are happy. We're trying to mix it up as we fix any remaining issues we've got out there, because nothing's perfect. But now they're competing on who can get the best score, who can keep their clients the happiest, who can talk to the most people, which is a total mindset shift from where we used to be, and completely different experience for our clients who are loving it. My wife, wonderful wife, says, show you care and are working hard for them. Yes. You know what? It's funny because when we started asking people for what do you want fixed and ideas, clients gave us ideas. One client said, I never know. I know you're doing stuff for me. I can see it working, but I don't know what you're exactly doing. I know what I paid for, but I don't really know. So we said we need to create a summary report for every client every week that says, here's what we did for you. Here's every social media post we did. Here's every direct mail piece we sent out. Here's everything. Here's copy that we wrote for you. Here's a video script that we created. Here's a YouTube ad that we did. So literally they say, wow, this is great. I actually know what you're doing for me, and I know what you need from me. And you're staying on top of me to make sure I get it to you. So this is our customer service system. I am now creating my third system on our VP of marketing service, which is where we become your entire marketing department in a box. in one transaction, and I'm mapping out that system, and I'm super excited because this stuff makes your life so much easier. And my employees are so much more productive because they know what they're supposed to be doing. They know when it's due. They know if it's been approved or not. They're talking to the clients. I use, my COO and I used to be the only, there was 3 of us. We're the only people who talk to clients. Now everybody's talking to clients every week. They're excited. It's totally a total change. So that's the way the software works. Now, if you qualify, here's how the challenge is going to work. If you qualify, Scott and his team will help nail down your results-focused procedures. Because again, these procedures have to be based on results. You saw whatever the X was that you're going for. That's the result that you're looking for. So you'll do a consultation with Scott first, and I'll give you the bad news in a minute. So stay tuned. You'll do a consultation with Scott, and then his team will help you nail down your results-focused procedures. So from there, you've got 1 week to create those training videos you saw me show you around each procedure. Don't worry, they're not long. Like my videos are 2 to 3 minutes. I did them all in 1 day. You can knock them all out. They're relatively easy. But it's the ones that tell your employees, here's what you need to do for this module, for this step. When you create the video, when you get started on your videos, Scott will give you $250. When you finish the videos in a week, again, it takes a day to do them, maybe a day or 2 to think about them, he'll give you another $250. And you got paid $500. Then they'll go build out the whole software program for you that you just saw and hand deliver it. Then once you've got it, they'll receive, you'll get trained on how to launch it. And once you like it, once you launch it, once it's worked, then and only then do you pay for it. But here's the beauty of it. You got paid $500. So the first month, the software's $250. Guess what? You got $500. So that month is basically free. The second month, it's $500. So really, it's half off. And then because you got $500. And the third month, it's $1,000 a month for up to 10 users, which is dirt cheap when you look at what it does. And it doesn't matter how many programs you create in the future, you're still cut. It's just based by number of users. So I'm building out my third program. But again, I've still got fewer than 10 users, so it's still costing me less than, still costing me the $1,000 a month. And I mean, if you look at some of the stuff like Basecamp or some of the other Microsoft projects, some of the other management systems, they cost way more and deliver a whole lot less. And here's the beauty of it. The price includes ongoing consulting and coaching. So Scott and his team are going to keep working with you to fine-tune systems, to help you define new programs, to help make sure everything works the right way and is doing what you want. And you can cancel anytime you want, so there's no contract. And if you want more than 10 users, you can always buy more user seats. So that is the good news. The bad news is Scott's already got a waiting list. This service has become so popular, as you can imagine, he's already got a waiting list for the $500 challenge. But you can schedule a consultation with Scott to get the process started, or talk to Scott or one of his certified ETC software consultants by going to www.takethe500challenge.com. It's takethe500challenge.com. And he promises he will get you into the program as soon as possible, and you'll discuss the start date of your $500 challenge during your initial consultation. He wanted me to assure you that even if you're not paired with him personally, he will be overseeing all the procedures, the programs, and the accountability pieces that go into your employee peak performance system. Now, I've been lucky enough to get to know Scott and spend a lot of time with him. It's funny, we keep seeing he keeps going to all the same events that I'm speaking at or that I'm at. I don't know if it's coincidence, because a couple events we've gotten together physically at, and we talk every week. We talk every week on the phone, and via Facebook and via email. But those events, I keep giving the same speech on our podcasting and marketing service. So he sees how well it works, which is awesome. Now, Scott is a different type of guy, just so you know. His mindset is all around efficiency and measured results. He's not scared of any challenge, and he believes he can help make the companies what you think is impossible, he can make possible. He did it for me. He's doing it for others. I know he can do it for you. So the only question is, what result do you want your employees to give you each and every day? Now, for me personally, Scott taught me how to have a system run my business that actually delivers results to my clients without me being there. I didn't have to call every single client and check in with them, although I had more clients assigned to me than anybody else. I took more than anybody else did. But They're making the calls, they're talking to people, they're finding out issues, they're getting them fixed, they're coming up with ideas, and they're executing them. They're delivering podcast results, and they're going to deliver VP results without me, and I can just watch the software dashboard work. It's absolutely amazing. And I never would have had an open mind to these possibilities without my initial consultation with Scott. And now I'm in the middle of watching our business explode. The explosion Scott promised me, and the beauty is, unlike last time when we had a geometric increase in business, that caused me a whole lot more stress and a whole lot more problems because we weren't prepared to handle it. This time it's kind of peaceful and it's beautiful because it's actually organized and it's precise and we know what to do, which is really awesome. And my employees like it because they feel like they're getting more done for the client than ever before. They're making the clients happier than ever before. They're getting more results, which is really, really cool. And they're focused on the results for the clients without me hounding them about the details. Now I just log into the software and watch their progress every step of the way. So, I joke with Scott. I tell him he's my hero. I tell him I want to be him when I grow up. But his solution is, in all likelihood, probably save my sanity. So if you're ready to have your business transformed and get on the waiting list for the $500 challenge to get paid $500 for taking action on the number one result could explode your company, go to www.takethe500challenge.com, takethe500challenge.com to sign up for a consultation with Scott and his team. And they'll talk to you about what the X is in your business, what is the number one result you want your employees to do for you, how the system would work to deliver that, and when you can get to the top of the waiting list to get it done. So go to www.takethe500challenge.com. I promise you'll be glad you did.